Welcome back to the Journalistic Revolution. In this segment, we are going to discuss the Romney speech, the hidden camera Romney speech. Which, of course, you know, I mean, the man said a whole bunch of horrible stuff in there. But that's what I've noticed is the media is only focused on what Romney said. And as horrible as it was, and he is the candidate, and I get that's why they're focusing on him. But why isn't anybody...
After that speech, I almost wondered if our Republican Party was like, man, is it too late to get Ron Paul?
You know, but after that hidden camera speech, everybody was focusing on Romney. And I just want to, for a moment, to drive home a point about how there are no groups, set in stone groups of people in this nation, or in the world for that matter, that let's focus on the questions that were asked by the people who were at that Romney hidden camera speech.
And I'll make this point before we get started. Folks, keep in mind, while we're showing you videos and going over some of these questions, these are the 1%ers that everybody's so against, the rich people, that are asking these very pointed, liberty-minded questions, if I don't mind saying so myself. And these are people paid $50,000 a plate to ask Romney
these
questions.
Here's the video of the first question.
Whoosh.
How are you going to win if 54% of the voters think China's economy is bigger than ours? Or if it costs 4 cents to make a penny and we keep making pennies? Canada got it right a month ago. Why isn't someone saying stop making pennies, round it to the nearest nickel? That's an easy thing, you know, compared to Iran. I want to see you take the gloves off and talk to people that actually read the paper and read the book and care about knowing the facts, and knowledge is power, as opposed to people that are swayed by, you know, what sounds good at the moment. You know, if you turned it into like eat what you kill, it'd be a landslide, in my humble opinion.
Did you hear that? He said, I want you to take the gloves off. Talk about intellectual things. I want you to come towards the people who pay attention to the news, read books, read the newspaper. And he said, instead of focusing on people who are easily swayed by what sounds good at the moment, knowledge is power. And then my favorite is, why are we still making pennies if it costs 4 pennies to make 1 penny? And he even points out that Canada and other socialist countries have already done this. Why aren't we discussing that question? It's an intelligent question. And Romney, of course, blew it off by saying, whoosh.
Being right. My dad used to say being right early is not good in politics. And in a setting like this, a highly intellectual subject on a whole discussion of a whole series of important topics typically doesn't win elections.
Well, unfortunately, intelligent topics don't typically win elections.
Intelligent topic. Let me. I know we weren't supposed to pick on Romney as much, but is he trying to make the assumption that everybody in America is stupid or too stupid to figure out the truth?
Yeah, because in reality, that was a blanket comment. He didn't say the 47% don't pay attention to intellectual subjects for elections. He said typically they just don't win elections.
Yeah. And that goes with the mentality of what we've been dealing with for the last few decades with this whole voting for the lesser of two evils and the politicians lying to us and then getting in office and doing whatever the heck they damn well please. And this is why. It's because we have stopped forcing our elected officials to talk about what's important intellectually.
Mm-hmm. And the next question came from another guy.
And this is, the Liberty lovers, you're gonna love this question because it speaks to what we've been screaming for the last 5, 6, 7 years.
All right, ready? Here's the video.
One of the aspects of the change that worked well for Obama 4 years ago was he promised to bring us more honest, transparent governance in Washington. I've been around politics. In the campaign I worked in with Barry Goldwater in 1964. So I'm the oldest Republican here. But from what I've seen, particularly in the last 7 months, because of my own personal involvement in the issue, is the government in Washington right now just is permeated by cronyism, outright corruption. Our regulatory agencies that are supposed to protect the public are protecting the people that they're supposed to be regulating. And I think people are fed up with that. It doesn't matter whether you're in the Tea Party or Occupy Wall Street. People see that the government is working for the powerful interests and the people who are well connected politically and not for the common person.
Now, did you hear that? He said that one of the reasons that Obama won was because he talked about transparency in the government and didn't deliver. We all know that. But he said that people are starting to see too much cronyism, right, in politics, which is exactly what we've been trying to tell people, especially the Occupy Wall Street. Capitalism hasn't failed you. It's been corrupted and become crony capitalism.
What other recent politician recently spoke about this constantly?
I don't know. I think some old guy named Paul or
Ron
something.
Paul, I think his name was.
I don't know. The guy, you know, he didn't look like he was electable to me. So.
And for all you guys out there, you know that I'm a Gary Johnson supporter. Gary Johnson is discussing the intellectual conversations that don't win elections.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, he equates it on how it can unite two very large movements inside this country today: the Tea Partiers and the Occupy Wall Streeters. And both of them are upset with cronyism. Yeah. The Tea Party thinks that the government is the issue here, and while Wall Street thinks it's corporations that are the problem.
And they're both right.
And they're both right. They are both right. And this guy got it. He understood that. He asked Romney that question, and Romney, of course, kind of blew it off.
He blew that off completely. In fact, I don't think he answered the question.
I don't think so either. I mean, you've seen it in the video. You can decide from there.
The rest of the video is mostly, and I'm not messing on women here, but these women in particularly, why aren't you on TV more often? Really?
Yeah, they were. But I mean, watch the whole video. Look for yourself. Romney says a lot of douchey stuff, but it's more about the people that are supposed to be his electorate.
Yeah, I mean, these are the people who are supporting him. These are the people that believe everything that he says, and enough that they want to support him. They believe that he likes these things, but he's not willing to discuss them or even listen to his electorate.
Yep. Now, one more thing that's not on the subject of the people. This is about something Romney said that I noticed that nobody in the media pointed out, and I think it's very telling about those who believe there's a global conspiracy to, create a one world government or one world currency, and I subscribe to this theory to a degree. Now, Romney said that he was using advisors or consultants from the same people who are doing Karl Rove equivalent tactics, and they're from Armenia, Africa, and Israel. Here's the video.
And I can tell you I have a very good team of extraordinarily experienced, highly successful consultants. A couple of people in particular who've done races around the world. I didn't realize these guys in the U.S., like the Karl Rove equivalents, they do races all over the world. In Armenia, in Africa, in Israel. They work for Bibi Netanyahu in his races, so they do these races and they see which ads work and which processes work best. And we have ideas of what we do over the course of the campaign. I tell them to you, but I'd have to shoot you.
Now, okay, Israel, I'll give. Okay, Israel, we can see as a somewhat democratic nation, and they have their own values, and they're better off than most Middle Eastern countries as far as government is concerned. But Armenia and Africa, like which parts of Africa? I really want to know. South Africa, because that's all British rule type stuff, and then is it Northern Africa? Because Northern Africa doesn't seem like those are good examples of democratically elected leaders. It's sad, and I don't know why people didn't point that out and find out who these people are. And if you can, please do find out who these people are.
Send us the link.
And send us the link, and we'll report on it.
Just for you.
It's one of those things that, out of everything he said, that seemed the more important issue, because they're the ones who are driving this campaign. He doesn't say anything without their say-so, without their advice.
And folks, if you remember who Karl Rove is, these are Karl Rove equivalent tactics, then think about where we're going back to.
Yeah. Now, I want to end it with this, because a lot of people, especially some members of my family, have said that me bashing on Romney is support of Obama. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go on the record saying you're absolutely right. I mean, I'm voting for Gary Johnson.
Me too.
You know, and I understand it's a protest vote. I'm okay with that. But I don't want Romney to win, and he's not going to win because of his own self-destructive nature with the Ron Paul campaign and how he treated and alienated them and created and did criminal acts against them. And his silly comments about 47%, which I don't understand America's obsession with this whole percent thing nowadays. Instead of, oh, it's black versus white or Republican versus Democrat. Now we're splitting us up into percentage groups. That's ridiculous. But anyway.
Any kind of group split. It is precisely what they want. They want us split as groups. They don't want us coming together. This is the point we've made on several occasions. Republican versus Democrat. Black versus white. This 47%.
Gay versus straight.
This 47% versus this 1%. Listen, nobody is wasting their vote.
No.
Unless you stay home.
No, stay home if you're protesting. I'm perfectly okay with that.
I disagree with that because I believe that the fact that we have that right allows us to give us that right, so we should take advantage of that right now. But whoever you vote for, whether it's Green Party, Communist Party, I don't care who you vote for.
As long as you're voting your conscience, for one.
But vote your conscience and vote, because I think that's really, and don't let anybody ever tell you that just because you don't vote for their guy, it's a wasted vote.
And don't let anybody ever tell you that if you don't vote, it's a wasted vote. Because as long as you're doing it as a conscious decision because you see nobody on the platform who supports your beliefs,
I can agree with that.
Don't vote.
I can agree with that.
You know, because then you're just, when you do vote for someone that you don't believe in, that is a wasted vote.
I think I can get on board with that logic.
Okay. So that concludes this segment of Romney madness. And so check us out on part 4.
We'll be talking about
the Apple patent.
Oh, yes, the Apple patent. Just another reason for me to hate Apple. Stay tuned for part 4, folks.
So I'm saying, peace.